As always, let's take a look around. This case is pretty big and imposing, and on first impression you'd be forgiven for thinking this enclosure could take eATX boards, with official support actually ranging from ITX to micro and full-size ATX motherboards. Although if you're planning to do a build in this case, I'll have a build linked in the card section now. An ATX board is certainly the size you want to use, otherwise the proportions will just look ridiculously off. At the bottom of the rear motherboard tray there's a power supply area which is nicely divided with this kind of metal sheet, which can also take up to two 2.5 inch SSDs up top with really clean cable routing. The SSD trays unscrew with a thumb screw for easy SSD installation, and the case window shows the motherboard tray off nicely, and the expansive window spans to the power supply area, but it is covered to hide the nasty cables. Down the bottom here we also see two hard drive sleds and another thumb screw removable drive spot, this time for 3.5 inch hard drives, giving you the option of 3 hard drives down the bottom here. We also get another 3 hard drive mounting trays down the usual right hand side just to the off of the motherboard tray, although these can be removed, and more on that modular element in a moment. Up top, above the hard drive sleds, there's 2 optical bays, which you probably won't use, and thankfully they can be removed to add more space here. They do of course also support even more drive mounting of hard drives and SSDs, so they may come in useful in that respect. Now here's where things get interesting. This case has an incredible amount of modularity and customizability. I've been very open about criticising Cooler Master's Master and Maker naming scheme in the past, with products which can't really be customised and changed by the end user all that much, and this product is certainly where that concept really comes into its own. The hard drive cages bottom and top can also be removed, as can the optical drive bays. The removal process is swift, with 1 or 2 captive thumb screws on the right hand side and a hold system on the left. Not only does this allow for huge flexibility in the position of pre-installed drive bays, but it means additional accessories can be added here and bought from Cooler Master, one of which is this GPU support bracket I asked them to send over. Alongside reinforced PCIe lanes which have been cropping up in more and more motherboards, this bracket will prevent your heavy and expensive GPU from sagging, giving your system a better look. Many of those accessories can also be used in conjunction with other accessories, which is great to see, and they're actually compatible across the whole line of Master cases, meaning you can switch them in and out if you have more than one, or use them when you upgrade to another one of Cooler Master's cases. Another product from Cooler Master is these ridiculously bright magnetic LED strips, and as opposed to traditional strips, they're actually housed in a plastic casing and can be powered using SATA cables, much better than Molex. They attach to pretty much any point in the case via magnets, as the case is made of metal and can be nicely hidden to light your system up. They are very bright. But what about more enthusiast level features such as water cooling? See, that's also covered. At the bottom, PSU and motherboard separation tray has a cutout to allow for radiators to be more flexibly mounted, with up to 280mm radiators good at the front here. At the rear is not only support for 120mm affair, but also 140mm radiators. Up top there is a great removal bracket which allows easy external installation of up to 240 and 280mm rads. The clearance on push-pull radiators is tight at the top here, but doable depending on your motherboard's top cooling. I managed it in this recent build. Whilst on the subject of cooling, Cooler Master must be praised on the inclusion of not only 3 fans, but also 3 140mm fans. When there's mounting for up to a 140mm fan and a fan is included, it should be that larger size, period. The fan at the rear here actually lights up with LEDs and will either be red or blue depending on the colour option of the case that you go for. I can't quite decide if it's a bit tacky or a nice addition, and I suppose that one is up to you. Next up on Cooler Master's modular portfolio for this case is the front, rear and top panels. The front panel has 3 different states. It can sit flush with the front of the case for a smaller look and reduced noise, or leave a gap for increased airflow directly into the front filtered intakes. If you want to take it even further, it actually hinges at the bottom and will come out at 25 degrees for access to the front optical drive bays if installed, and of course more airflow. The top panel has the same 2 states, flush and slightly out, for options between thermals and acoustics. The rear has a shroud which can be removed to take off side panels but nicely hide thumb screws. Talking of thumb screws, this case seems to use the captive variant wherever possible, which is fantastic. Never again will I lose side panel screws. All of the panels are held on with magnets, which is great to see as opposed to irritating and more cumbersome screws. Both the side panels are made of thick metal which has some weight and like literally no flex. Nice. In terms of I/O on this case, it's hidden behind this top panel cover which holds open magnetically. You get the power and reset buttons, HD audio, so headphone and microphone jacks, hard drive and power indicator LEDs, and just 2 USB 3 ports. Another 2 ports here, not necessarily USB 3, would be nice, but I understand the reluctance to add extra USB 2 ports when they're just getting older and much less used. I also need to take a moment to let you appreciate not only the packaging of this case inside the box, from the astronomically thick packing foam which protected my case literally from a flight, because this actually was imported from another country. It also comes in a bag, the case, for easy lifting out of the box. The box is nice, printed in colour, all that good stuff. The packaging for this is fantastic, but what actually comes in the box in terms of accessories is even more impressive. You get a box in this case which is nicely divided with easily recyclable cardboard, because let's be real, you're going to throw this box away anyways, which houses everything from an astronomically ridiculous variety and amount of screws to a quantity of cable ties that for once doesn't take the mick, aka there's actually enough for you to use, and other bits and bobs, including these adjustable 3M sticky kind of cable management things, which are pretty cool. But what don't I like? Because as always there's a couple of things. Another 2 centimeters up on the top of this case would have guaranteed dual radiator support and would have been appreciated, although I can understand any reluctance to make a case that many would argue to already be unnecessarily big any bigger. The size isn't something I can criticise though, and I like the large amount of flexibility it offers. If you don't like the case's size, it's not like there aren't other options. Measure twice, buy once. It's as simple as that. I like the optional LED strips, although RGB functionality in one product would be nice to see. A fan hub on the back panel of the case would also be a great addition and wouldn't break the bank. That being said, the case does come with 3 3-pin to Molex fan adapters, a solution, but a slightly janky solution at that. I can also see some people criticising the build quality here slightly. Removable dust filters throughout and the world's most solid side panels are great. However, some may feel that too much of the case is constructed of plastic. For me, it isn't a problem and I really like this case. The build experience is fantastic and I truly am nitpicking here and being overly pedantic. This is what the Master and Maker brands from Cooler Master are all about and should be all about. This is a true enthusiast product for a true enthusiast consumer. From captive thumb screws to thick side panels and modularity that is very practically useful, Cooler Master have hit the nail on the head here and made a product that fits in fantastically with the range of Master cases. A great job on this one that I really hope and really feel will give Cooler Master a greater market share on that enthusiast segment. If you would like to pick this case up, I'll leave Amazon links as always in the description below. If you look at the end cards now that have popped up on your screen, aren't they lovely? You'll be able to click onto a $1,000 build that I did inside of this case featuring a GTX 1070 and Cable 8 i5. But as always, make sure to smash that like button, follow my Twitter at GeekaWhat, check out some recent giveaways going on the channel, but as always, we'll see you in the next GeekaWhat video.